Hey everyone, Bennett here, and today I want to talk about what it looks like to win mentally and emotionally during COVID-19. What it looks like to win mentally and emotionally during COVID-19. Right now, we're in a time of so much pain, hurt, and loss. People are experiencing greater economic difficulties, job loss, loss of loved ones, relational disconnection, loss of hobbies, a lack of safety, all kinds of uncertainty, xenophobia, racism. People are experiencing all of these things. And the effects of COVID-19 are endless. They're ruthless. And these effects not only threaten our physical health, but also our mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual health as well. They threaten our ability to win mentally and emotionally. But no matter what you're facing during this time, you're not alone. You're not alone. And you weren't meant to be alone. You were never intended to experience this reality that you're experiencing. You were made to thrive, being created in the likeness of God with infinite worth, designed to thrive, designed for healthy relationships and connection with God and others. You were designed to experience the assurance of safety, to know that everything is going to be okay. But the reality is, what we are experiencing in our world today doesn't fit that bill, that need, that longing. So what do we do in this time of loss, of pain, of hurt? What do we do? How do we process what we are experiencing and not be doomed to our anxiety, our hopelessness, and our pain? How do we choose health rather than coping with our pain through binging on Netflix or endlessly scrolling social media, overeating, drinking, or even viewing pornography? How do we navigate what's going on inside of us amidst such pain, loss, and uncertainty? And how do we not just survive, but find a way to move forward and thrive? After years of experiencing anxiety, emotional turmoil, hopelessness, and suicidal thoughts in my own life, then finding hope and healing, I want to share a process that I've worked through that has helped me win mentally and emotionally. And this is a process that shouldn't be rushed. Sometimes it takes weeks, even months or years at a time to work through. But I want to lay this out to encourage you, to help pave a path, and to remind you that there is hope. Things will get better. And there is a way to limit the pain of what you're experiencing, not in a way that minimizes it, but in a way that helps you to not be alone and not fall into the lies and the trap that the enemy wants you to experience. So let me share 5 steps that I believe will help you win mentally and emotionally. 5 steps that I've taken, a process that I've worked through throughout many different stages of my life. The first step is to grieve losses. Grieve losses. The losses during this time are immense. Loss of financial income, the death of loved ones, uncertainty, disconnection from others, loss of normal routines, activities, and hobbies, to name a few. The pain from the losses you're experiencing is real. Be honest with yourself about your fears, your feelings, questions, hurts, and struggles. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to grieve, to mourn the reality of what you are experiencing. Ecclesiastes 3:4 reminds us there is a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. It's okay to not have it all together and to mourn the losses you're experiencing. In fact, it's good to do so. I'm reminded of how Jesus wept in John 11 when his friend Lazarus died. If he, God, took time to feel and grieve, how important is it for us as human beings? I encourage you to write down the losses you're experiencing. Let yourself feel the emotions those bring. Sit with God. Be honest about your doubts, your hurt, your questions, your frustrations. Visualize him being there with you, comforting you, sitting with you. Number 2, identify the messages. Identify the messages. What do I mean? Loss, painful experiences, and uncertainty lead to messages we believe. And these messages often aren't true. Maybe you're experiencing economic hardship. You've lost your job or business has slowed down. What messages have you believed from those experiences? Is it, God doesn't care about me? I'm not good enough or gifted enough because I was laid off while other people got to keep their job? Or no matter how hard I try, it just seems like I can't measure up and provide for my family. I'm inadequate. Maybe you've experienced loneliness. Friends, family, or coworkers aren't reaching out to you, or you feel so disconnected. What messages have you believed? Is it people don't care about me? I'm unwanted? Or I must not matter? Lies and losses can come in all shapes and sizes. And this has been the enemy's tactic since day one in the Garden of Eden, to twist the truth, to deceive us, to get us to believe lies about God, ourselves, and others. In Genesis 3, Adam and Eve fell for a lie from the enemy and disobeyed God's command to not eat of the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And Adam and Eve ate of the fruit, and immediately they were filled with shame, believing not just that they had done wrong, but that they themselves were wrong. And that lie that started about God ended in a lie they believed about themselves. The enemy wants to use whatever he can to get us to believe lies, often using our hurt, our unmet longings, and our painful experiences. So let us not be unaware of this key tactic that the enemy wants to use in our lives. Number 3, reframe the messages. Reframe the messages. Think through the painful experiences and losses. What is actually true about the situation? For example, in economic hardship, remind yourself that events are taking place that are outside of your control. Remember Jesus' words in Matthew 6:26. Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Remember that God will provide for you, that he is providing for you in many ways, and that you are valuable. In loneliness, remind yourself that Jesus said, I am with you always to the very end of the age. In Matthew 28:20. Remind yourself that in Christ you are a loved child of God. That's 1 John 3:1. You are chosen and wanted. That's John 15:16. And you are God's masterpiece, as Ephesians 2:10 says. Whether or not people acknowledge it, that is who you are. But also remember that others may feel lonely or unwanted as well, and that you have an opportunity to reach out to them and experience your needs being met in addition to theirs. Sit with God, experience the truth intellectually, but also emotionally. This part is so key, to feel all throughout your body, yourself, what it feels like to be loved, accepted, wanted, and adequate. Sit with God and experience that and meditate on that and visualize God being with you and affirming you. Come back to these truths and experience them when sadness, when shame, when lies surface again. Number 4, connect with others. Connect with others. Share with safe people the losses and pain that you are experiencing. See, connecting with others releases dopamine and oxytocin in our brains, and it leads to this sense of connection and satisfaction. It also affirms the reality that we are not alone and that we are understood. Text or FaceTime a friend or a loved one. Go for a walk with someone you know while maintaining social distancing, of course. Schedule an online meeting with a counselor, a mentor, or a coach. Remember, we need one another. We need you. In the creation account, God said that it was not good for the first human, Adam, to be alone or without another human being. Hebrews 10:25 even goes so far as to instruct us to not neglect meeting together because of how important relational and spiritual connection is for each and every one of us. Number 5, hold on to hope. Hold on to hope. Think back on challenges you faced in the past and how God pulled you through. You're still here. You're still alive. You're reading this. You've made it through. Think of how you might be able to help others through their struggles in the future as a result of what you're experiencing now. Try to get a vision of what God might do in your life through all of this. Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning, showcased the power of a future vision in our lives. Frankl found strength to continue fighting for his life in a Nazi concentration camp during World War II. He was overworked, he was underfed, he was attempting to survive the bitter cold with friends dying all around him. He began to envision one day being free from the concentration camp, lecturing to crowds on the psychology of concentration camps. All of his challenges became experiences that would inform his future work. He found purpose in his pain and a greater reward to strive for. In contrast, those who lost hope around Frankl began deteriorating, succumbing to illness and mental breakdowns, losing the will to go on and surrendering to hopelessness and death. But Frankl survived the concentration camps and was eventually liberated by American soldiers. He went on to write books, to earn his PhD, and give lectures all over the world. Incredible. We also witness the power of hope and of vision in the life of Jesus in Hebrews 12:2, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross. That joy that's set before him, that was motivating him, was receiving all authority on heaven and on earth, as Matthew 28:18 says, and giving you and I the right to become children of God, adopted into his family, to become his in this close relationship with him, as John 1:12 says. See, whatever you're experiencing, you can take heart because Jesus sees you, he cares, and he mourns with you. He has overcome the world. He's ruling and reigning over all that is going on in this time. And one day he will make all things right and new. Do you know this Jesus? Have you turned towards him? Do you have a personal relationship with him? Lastly, let me encourage you to take these next steps to win mentally and emotionally during COVID-19. 1, work through the 5-step process in this video and start with one loss or one painful experience at a time. 2, consider meeting online with a counselor. There's a great website called betterhelp.com. You can find a online counselor who takes your insurance if you have it, search by category, or explore more counseling resources at josh.org/find-help. 3, check out josh.org/resolution for more resources about this new global initiative we're launching to help people overcome hurts and struggles and start thriving in life. And lastly, I'd love to connect with you on Instagram or Facebook, instagram.com/BenVBennett, or you can just search my Instagram handle, BenVBennett, or check out facebook.com/BenVBennett. I'd love to connect with you, talk with you, and hear how I can be praying for you. Also, feel free to contact us at josh.org under the Contact Us tab. We'd love to hear from you, connect with you, and pray for you.